Good afternoon, I'm Mike Dyer from your Riverton Chevrolet Superstore down here in the South Towne Auto Mall, Sandy, Utah. I'm our Corvette specialist. It's a little bit of a chilly day out here today, but that's okay because we're going to warm things up with me introducing you to the all-new 2014 Chevy Corvette Stingray. Beautifully redesigned car. Everything about it has been redone with the exception of two parts. It's a completely new design. It's, as you see, absolutely world-class exotic looks. It'll rival just about anything on the planet as far as design goes. The new 2014 Corvette Stingray has plenty of performance capabilities as well. Starting off with a brand new engine. It's what's called the LT1 engine. It's going to have 455 horsepower at 460 pound-feet of torque, or with the available performance exhaust, it'll have 460 horsepower, 465 pound-feet of torque. That'll combine to get you a 0 to 60 time that's world-class 3.8 seconds. Amazing performance from such an inexpensive car. Now, you're going to have a lot of other features. As you're seeing, there are quite a few different vents all around the car. Starting off with a hood vent up here, this is actually a very functional vent. It's designed to take air that's coming past the radiator and deflect a portion of it over the top of the car to aid in aerodynamics, help with downforce, and help with the cooling needs of the car. There are other vents as you walk around the car and take a look. Vents to help cool the braking, for example. This is, in particular, this is a Z51 package car, which means it's the performance variant of the Chevy Stingray. The brakes, as you see, are a little bit larger diameter, and they're slotted to aid with cooling. The Z51 package also includes a performance suspension consisting of a little bit heavier duty shock absorbers, gives you basically a more performance-oriented suspension designed specifically to hold you to the road no matter what you do to the car. Just an amazing performance package. Z51 package also includes an electronic limited slip differential, as well as a dry sump cooling system and a couple of specific aerodynamic aids to get, just again, help with the downforce of the car, help with the handling overall. I was mentioning the venting that comes with the car. The vents up front help to eliminate air from the engine bay and the engine compartment, helping to keep things cool, as well as assist in keeping the brakes nice and cool for heavy-duty driving. Vents back here to allow air into the rear brakes to keep them cooled off. On the Z51 package in particular, this particular vent sends air back to the differential to help keep it cool, while a vent on the opposite side of the car sends air back to the transmission to help it keep it cool too. Back here at the rear end of the car, you have vents to help eliminate that air from the brake ducting and the other cooling vents. These vents will actually extract air from the back end of the car, helping to keep the whole thing cooled off, and again, aids with aerodynamics as well. This particular car has the dual mode performance exhaust. What that's going to do is give you butterflies that are built into the outside two pipes, which when you are in either a track mode or when you're heavy on the throttle, it will open those butterflies up for a little bit more power as well as a better engine sound too. It emits a really, really nice growl under throttle. As you see, the looks of the car are just amazing. As I said, it's just the most exotic Corvette that's ever been built. It's also the most capable car and the fastest base Corvette that's ever been made. So a lot of bang for the buck out of a vehicle like this. Moving on to the hood, I will show you the new engine, the LT1. It's an all-new engine for the Corvette. It's an all-aluminum block, all-aluminum heads, actually an aluminum oil pan as well to help keep the weight down on the whole car. They're actually using an all-aluminum frame for the first time on a base model Corvette. So just amazing weight-saving technologies. Along with the engine's power, you're going to get world-class fuel economy. This LT1 engine has been rated at an average of 29 miles a gallon out on the highway, 17 miles a gallon around town, and that's due to the use of what's called active fuel management, where it will deactivate 4 of the cylinders when you're not under a heavy load. It actually has direct fuel injection for better fuel delivery and combustion, and it has variable valve timing, again, so that when you're heavy on the throttle, it's going to allow you to have little bit more power when you need it, but then when you don't need the power, it's going to save fuel for you. That's how it gets those outrageously good numbers. The steering on the Corvette is a ZF electric power steering system, extremely responsive and great on-center feel when you're going down the road, and again, very responsive. Now, the steering, the exhaust, the suspension, and quite a few other aspects are combined into what's called the Performance Traction Management System. That's something that's available when you choose the magnetic selective ride control. That particular package is available on a Z51 car only, but what that gives you is different driving modes that are oriented either for economy, sport, touring, track, or weather modes. So it'll combine power coming from the engine, the shock absorbers, the exhaust, suspension, different components like that, to basically keep the car as controllable as needed, no matter what the conditions that you're driving in, whether it's wet weather or out on a dry racetrack. So just, like I said, amazing capabilities that have been into this car. And what we should do now is move on into the interior, and I'll show you a couple of things inside. So here inside the new Stingray, it's just an amazing feeling. What they've done with the car is totally different from any other Corvette that's ever been built. Very, very driver-oriented, as you see. All of the controls, all of the, basically everything in the interior comes straight to hand for the driver, with the exception of over on the far right-hand side there, you'll see that the passenger heating and cooling system, as well as their heated and cooled seats, are controlled for the first time over on their side of the vehicle. So just a really nice extra little touch that they've done. As you see, this particular one is what's called a 3LT package, which gives you leather-wrapped door panels, leather-wrapped dash and center console, and when you do the 3LT in particular, the upper dash section becomes the same color as the seats that you've chosen for your new Stingray. So just really, really beautiful design. We have quite a few different technologies in the car. Of course, you're going to have your two-position driver memory. Different drivers can have their own settings for both the seats, the steering wheel, and the outside mirrors, and it will reset itself for whoever's driving. There's also the heads-up display setting over here, as well as the power mirrors, of course. As you see, the Bose premium sound system. This is a 10-speaker sound system that's just amazing, amazing sound. The steering wheel is a smaller diameter than what Corvette's ever had before. It's a 14.1-inch diameter steering wheel. You have all of your controls over here, cruise control on the left-hand side, as well as favorites buttons for the radio stations that you've chosen. You have paddle shifters with an automatic transmission. It's a 6-speed automatic with paddle shifters, so you can shift up or down at will. Over on the right-hand side of the steering wheel, your volume controls back here, and your controls for the driver information center, as well as a few other things right up on this side of the wheel here, as well as a push-to-talk button. That's a beautiful thing because it involves a lot of controls with the car. It allows you to actually give voice commands to make, of course, phone calls, but also allows you to give navigation commands, lets you give commands to change the radio stations. Amazing technology built into this car. It's something that you wouldn't have seen 5 years ago on a very high-end luxury sports car. One of the neat things about the MyLink radio is that there is a storage cubby built in right here that actually gives you a USB port so you can plug in and listen to and or charge different devices, and gives you nice storage space as well for some of the smaller cell phones, wallets, sunglasses, things like that. Other storage capabilities include the cup holders that have actually been moved back and enlarged a little bit from previous generations so that you can actually have a pair of drinks your driver and passenger can both get to. And then a center storage down here, which is going to give you an auxiliary power outlet, an auxiliary input jack, 2 more USB ports, and an SD card slot. So all of your media readily accessible. Very, very comfortable car too. I may have mentioned that the seat frames in this car are magnesium, so extremely supportive. Very, very good bolstering. The side bolsters, they're designed specifically to keep you planted when you're driving the car, whether it's driving hard or just cruising along on a Sunday, taking a nice easy drive. Also, every Corvette comes with the push-button start as well as a passive entry system. All you have to do is put your foot on the brake, tap the start button and brings the car to life. So the couple of the things that this car comes with will include the MyLink radio system. This is a touchscreen radio that gives you full Bluetooth capability, so you can actually use Pandora internet radio, you can stream music from your phone or other device through the sound system of the car, all just with one simple setup. One of the really neat features of the new Stingray is what's called the reconfigurable display. Now this is can be linked to the different drive modes that I was mentioning, either wet weather, eco, sport, touring, or track. Right now we're in sport mode, and it's going to give you some specific information as you're looking at the dashboard. If you change it to touring mode, you'll get a little bit different exhaust note as well as some different display features that come up. When you go to eco mode, you're going to have, again, more economical driving as well as a little bit different, couple different things that you can see. Weather mode gives you the same basic display, but again alters the traction and active handling, the stability control systems in the car, to maximize your wet weather grip. Then you can go to what they call track mode, which changes the exhaust note, changes the suspension settings, as well as gives you, again, a very different looking display. Now, also just above the above the dashboard in front of the steering wheel, you can see the heads-up display showing right there on that windshield. Right now, kind of tough to see, but when you're driving the car, it's a beautiful thing to have. Again, just displaying all pertinent information for you right there in front of you without having to take your eyes off the road. We have, in the Corvette, of course, dual zone climate control. You can choose to have the driver and passenger be the same temperature, or using the passenger controls over on the right hand side of the car that we mentioned, the passenger can choose their own temperature, whether it's hotter or colder than the driver. The seats in the car are both heated and air conditioned. You can choose 3 different levels of cooling, 3 different levels of heating to keep yourself whatever the best temperature is. So it's just an absolutely nice thing to have. The way to change the performance modes for the car itself are with this performance mode, the driver mode select knob. This also allows you to control the traction control and active handling modes as well. So you can have just about any performance parameters you might want, whether it's comfort, economy, wet weather, or if you're taking it out and flogging it around a track. So, another couple of nice little features that I'll point out really quickly is that the steering wheel is a power tilt and a power telescope. In the past it's been power telescoping but not power tilting, and it's a very, very nice thing to have. Again, that is tied in with the 2-position driver memory in the car as well. Of course, every Corvette is going to come with OnStar. It's going to have a 3-month free trial of the OnStar system, and that's just an absolutely beautiful thing, just for safety as well as connectivity and anti-theft as well. I want to thank you for taking a few minutes of your time to let me explain to you the brand new Chevy Corvette Stingray, all new for 2014. Again, gorgeous, gorgeous car, world-class economy, world-class performance, world-class power, all in an amazingly affordable package. So I just wanted to give you a heads up that RivertonChevrolet.com is where you can check out any of our inventory, post questions to us, get in touch with one of the salespeople, including myself, about a new Stingray or any other brand new vehicle. Again, Riverton Chevrolet has been family-owned since 1922. We're here to take care of you and treat you the right way. One other thing that I'll mention to you too is if you have any praise for the car or you have any comments to leave, please do so in the box below the video right here. I also want to remind you, we talked a little bit ago about the performance exhaust and the kind of growl that that gives you. I wanted to demonstrate that with you in closing right now, so I'll give you that right at the moment. 460 horsepower of pure goodness. Thank you again for looking at the video and checking out the new car with us.